now. So you just said that you wish that Benny was here right now because you'd hug him, right?
That's exactly what I said. Yes, Ben.
What?
You were asking me if I thought he was like me when I was his age, and I said that's a better question for my mother. But really, with both my kids, my daughter Evelyn's 7, Benny's 5. They there's bits and pieces of them that I see from myself, and then there's stuff that's all them, and there's things I see maybe from their mom. So
Sure.
Yeah. But here's the crazy thing about him though. He does look just like me when I was 5. We saw some home videos when we were down in Florida, and there was videos of me when I was 5, and he was like, "How did I get on TV?" And I was like, "How did you?" it's that similar, which is weird.
What?
Yeah.
What? Oh my God. What is it like when you come home after a long day and your kids are there? Like, what does that feel like?
Normally I pick them up from school on the days they're with me, and it's a super nice transition because you can kind of like leave whatever else is behind and just focus in on them and try cool. and enjoy that. Most days it's really fun.
It's probably very hard to be worried about work when your kids are like, "Dad, can we go play outside?" Right?
Yeah, and it's a super easy way to like give your I think I had a hard time shutting it off when I was younger, before I had kids, because it was like you could just think about what's the next thing I can do to move this forward or this or that. But when you have your kids, they really want your presence. They want you to pay attention to them and to be aware of what's going on and play with them, or just be with them and not be somewhere else. So it's really been good for me because I'm not always great at turning that switch off, but with them I am, and I'm grateful for that. So
yeah, I would imagine. I think some parents, I don't know what it's like. I have no idea. Like, is that what it's like for most parents, or do you think some parents have trouble switching off? I just have no idea.
Yeah, I think there's probably, like anything else, that
Wide
bell
range.
curve, right? Where some people do that really well and others don't, and everywhere in between. So, and not to say that I'm great at doing that all the time, but it is something that I've learned to do, and I'm grateful for. So,
if you had to pick a random,
I'd recommend for other parents too, because it's it's good for you and for the kids.
If you had to pick a random career path that you think both kids will take someday, what do you think it'll be? Like just random. It can be hilarious.
Yeah. So for Benny, it would be some sort of engineer, probably, maybe working on or like a mechanic. He's really interested in how things work and function.
Cool.
Even just the other day, I mean, he's 5, and he was asking me, like, how do the wheels turn? And I explained to him the engine and the axle, and he got down underneath my truck and was like, "Oh, I see it. I see the axle." But he's always had that curiosity around like mechanical things and how they work. Even when he was like younger, I'd see him like trying to figure stuff out. And he's really into like cars and trucks and stuff. So who knows? That could totally shift. But if I had to pick something right now, it would be some sort of like engineering or a mechanic or something along those lines. For That's Evelyn, cool. She's just such a social being. She's great with people. And she's something in the world dealing with and working with people. I don't know exactly what that would be, whether it's, she'd probably be great at sales. Something along those lines, where her primary role is doing something working with people. So,
yeah, that's so cool. It's so funny for them already to have those personalities, right? And what do you think? Zach, you were going to say something.
No, go for it.
What do you think your parents thought that you were going to be when you were a kid?
I have no idea.
What did you think you were going to be?
I thought I was going to be Mickey Mouse, which didn't happen.
Yep.
So, I have no idea. When I was, I'm trying to think when I was old enough to figure stuff out. I actually, once I was in high school, I thought I wanted to be like a mental health counselor, which is funny because that's
Yeah.
what I'm going back to school for now
It's
to
crazy.
do. Because I was
Comes
always
back
interested in
around.
psychology and the mind and how how that sort of thing worked as I got a little bit older. But yeah, but I was really, really good at math. So at the same time, some sort of engineering was probably what my parents would have
Yeah.
thought I would do.
Yeah.
Sorry for the cough there.
No.
Yeah, because math just was always my strongest subject. It's just what kind of came to me
Sure.
naturally. So
Yeah. I used to think I was going to be like a math professor, or like wearing like a tweed jacket, or a detective, because I had this little detective book, like a magnifying glass.
I
And
could I could see you more as a detective than a math professor. A history
thank
professor,
you.
I could see you being a
History
history
professor.
professor for sure.
Detective would be pretty cool if it was like a stereotypical detective. That'd be kind of an interesting job.
Yeah.
Knock knock knock. Excuse me, ma'am. Yeah, that would
Let,
be
let
fun.
me ask you a quick question, just out of curiosity. If there was a if you could just have any job right now, like get rid of all of your businesses and you were in a totally different career, what would it be?
I say this all the time. It would be it would be one of two things. One of two things. One of them would be a made up history tour guide.
Okay.
I would be taking people on tours of places and making up history as I go. Because I kind of
Okay.
enjoy, especially recently, I've enjoyed uh, flexing the ability to make up stories and be
Yeah.
creative, verbally creative, and I love history. So, and then if the big fantasy job is the one that I described, to have some sort of entity where we are buying and growing businesses and doing that with friends, people that I love, and just doing that thing and having the lifestyle that is associated with that, the
Yeah.
creativity, the challenge aspect of it, but also in a very healthy place, living on a beach, in a beach community with family around. So those are one of the two that I would do. What about you?
Yeah, I don't. That would take some thought. I was actually thinking about it while you were talking a little bit,
Yeah,
and
if you had to choose.
if I had to choose some sort of maybe like a business in like boating, like kayaks and paddle
Yeah,
boards,
yeah,
um, like buying, selling them, renting them out, something like that. Something simple. I wouldn't.
it'd be fun.
I don't have like a big fantasy. That could get
It'd be
boring
fun.
after a while though too. But it just right now, I think I grew up on the water in a canoe,
Yeah,
like, and all the time. Like where I grew up was Braddock's Bay, Lake Ontario,
yeah.
Long Pond, Cranberry Pond. There was so much outdoors on the water, and I think I've gotten away from having that be a part of my life. So I'm
Hmm.
probably saying that because I'm missing that aspect
You,
of who I am right now.
it's because you want that like today. You're like,
Yeah,
man,
yeah,
I
yeah,
want to
yeah,
be on the
yeah,
water today.
yeah. Without too much thought, that's where my mind's going today. I'm like, man,
If
it's
you
hot.
could just jump on a paddleboard right now
That
in
would be
your
great.
backyard, that would feel good.
Yeah. What's interesting too, Ben, is asking little kids what they think they want to be when they grow up.
Ooh,
Because like my daughter Evelyn says she wants to be a famous artist, but that's because she just likes to do art, and she actually learned a lot about artists in school. They had like a segment where they
cool.
were learning about a different artist every month, and then
Yeah, I
yeah,
like it.
my stepdaughter says she wants to be a singer, but she and I asked her, well, what do you want to sing? Well, I want to sing songs about emotions, people being happy
Wow,
and sad, and
wow.
which was really cool.
So mature.
So you kind of get and then leads in that led into like a more in-depth conversation about feelings and emotions and things like that, which is surprising,
Wow,
right? So there's more
wow.
behind just what they're saying, than just like when you kind of dive deeper into it with them. Like, well, why is that? What is it about it?
Huh.
That makes you say that. So
That is so cool. Actually, I really like that answer from your stepdaughter. I mean, that's
Yeah, she's kind of understands, like, emotionally intelligent for a child. That'll probably be something along those lines. Will probably be her vocation in life down the road, as that's explained,
so.
for Evelyn and
So
Benny.
Jen
So
has taught her quite a bit in that arena.
maybe, yeah, that could be a big part of it. Part of it just, I feel like we all have things intrinsically that are just things we do well, things we don't do well. She um is dyslexic too. So
Oh
not
yeah.
that necessarily plays into that piece, but our brains and where they go, I feel like part of that's hardwired, and then part of that's learned. So
Yeah, that is interesting. I should start asking kids that.
ask
Wait, wait,
ask
wait. Well,
there's a
what? What?
there's well here's the thing I'd recommend is go two more questions in, like, instead of just asking, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? Well, why do you want to
Why?
be that? What is it about that makes you think
Yeah.
this? Like, keep asking questions, and it'll probably be more interesting. So
You're is asking two questions in, is that a therapy strategy? Like I've never heard
I
it described that way.
no,
Is
I
that
don't
like
I don't
I just
I
never
don't
heard that
know.
term before.
Oh no, it's just something I've realized with my kids that I do. I wouldn't
Hmm,
put it into anything I'm learning in school, but I've
hmm,
noticed, like, asking when I ask one question, I get some information, and then I try to just keep
right.
going deeper with it to see, um, that's all. Because you can say, "How was school today?" Right, and then they'll say
Hmm,
something, and then pick off of something they said to go a little bit deeper to figure something else out, rather than just
hmm.
anyway.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I that's all we got on parenting for now.